Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's session. I am Vishal Saraswat. I am the leader at Gurgaon Salesforce Developer Group. And on behalf of Gurgaon Salesforce Developer Group, I would like to welcome each and everyone who have joined today's session. So today our speaker is Neha Bhardwaj, and the host for today's session is Vaishnav. So Vaishnav, I would like to hand over the stage to you. Over to you.
Thank you, Vishal, and good afternoon, everyone. So, I hope everyone is doing good and safe at their respective places. Now today we are in the last part of the security series. That is the third part related to sharing for external users. So, for this session, we have Neha Bhardwaj as our speaker. So she's director of solutions at Stack Nexus Inc. and she's an architect and technology enthusiast. She's an awesome community speaker. As you have already seen her in the past two sessions. So she's been delivering a strong content so that we are able to understand the concepts of security very easily, and you can also uh, um, you can also understand from the way she is explaining with the particular use cases and scenarios to explain that particular topic. And she is an J2S mentor, as she has been guiding so many students and aspirants who are trying to come into the Salesforce ecosystem. And she is very active in community events and various initiatives. Like we have a New Delhi group. In that we have started a Let's Implement initiative. So she is the core team member and designer of that program. And you can follow Neha on Twitter at Bhardwaj084 Neha, and on LinkedIn you can find her on Neha Bhardwaj. So moving on to my intro, I am a Salesforce student ambassador at Visakhapatnam Developer Group, and I'm 2x Salesforce certified. I'm little more active in Twitter, and mostly I attend all the community sessions because I have learned so much from these community sessions, and it has helped me a lot to improve my concepts, my communication skills, my collaborative skills, and all. So I like to contribute to community very much, as it has given me so much. I also want to give the community so much so that what all my experiences are there, they can be helpful for the core trailblazers. You can follow me on Twitter at APSB Vaishnav, and connect with me on LinkedIn at Anantapalli PSB Vaishnav. And coming to Gurgaon Developer Group, it came into existence in January 2013. From then, there were some sessions being conducted, and in this lockdown period, we have in everyone we have conducting sessions on different products of Salesforce and demystifying different products. So you can follow Gurgaon Developer Group on Twitter at @Gurgaon_SFDC. And coming to hashtags, you can tweet in Twitter on the following hashtags, like hashtag Gurgaon DG and hashtag community, Trailblazer Community Gurgaon, so that the session which is being conducted will be reaching out to as many people who are following these handles. So you can be a member of the Salesforce Developer Group, Gurgaon Developer Group, with the help of this URL. I'll be sharing them in the chat. And we also have a YouTube channel with the name Gurgaon Salesforce Developer Group, in which we are uploading all the session recordings, so that it will be helpful for the trailblazers to refer that, and like those who have missed it, they can be helpful from those recordings. So we are creating different playlists for each of the following sessions. Like, as we are conducting series of sessions, we are creating different playlists for each series, so you can find it easily and follow those different parts at one place. And we also have a Telegram channel with Gurgaon Developer Group. In that, we'll be sharing all the session updates, what all the upcoming sessions are there, and we can also collaborate in that Telegram channels, as there will be trailblazers from different places in the country. So everyone can share their views, and if there are any job updates, everything will be shared on that Telegram channel. So this is from my side, and thank you for this opportunity, special opportunity from Gurgaon Developer Group and Vishal for giving me an opportunity to host these sessions. And now I would like to hand over the stage to Neha. Neha, over to you.
Thank you, Vaishnav. Thank you so much. And you have been amazing host. So, congratulations to you and Vishal for hosting such great sessions. Hey everyone, this is Neha here. I am an architect and I'm director of solutions with StackNexus. Been into technology for good 12 years. I've already shared with you guys, I've been a Java architect for good 6 to 7 years. Then I switched my career to Salesforce and happily designing solution for the enterprise level projects for some of the key customers in USA. So that's about me, short and simple. Today we are going to delve into sharing for external users. What can be shared, how can be shared, what are the different factors that we need to take care of. So that's what is going to be the focus for today. But before we jump into that, two things that I wanted to carry forward from the previous session. First thing, I remember somebody asked me this question while I was talking about the OWD. I did mention something about the prize books. I was just going through the video and I realized, yes, that was true. So I'll quickly show you what I shared about the prize books. I'm not sure which participant was that who asked that question, but let's just see what do we have for prize book here. So real quick, let me know if you guys can share my screen there. Is it visible, Vaishnav?
Yes, Neha, we can see.
Sounds good. Thank you. So here we go. This is sharing settings where you set your OWD. I'll try to spend a lot more time here today inside the org and showing you a couple of demos. Okay. So this is the classic view. Somehow my browser is not supporting a lot of things being opened up here in the Lightning view. That's why I'm trying to switch to the, I'm sorry, switch to the classic in order to show you. But I always suggest everyone, all the developers and my clients to please switch to Lightning. It has much more to offer now. So try to switch to Lightning and work over there. But just for the demo purposes, since I'm facing some challenges with the browser, I'm going to be demoing this in the classic version. So here you go. This is your sharing setting, and this is what you do. This is how it looks like, your OWD. And when we talk about specifically about the prize book, let me just quickly show you what does it show you. What does it have to offer you? Yeah, there you go. So when we talk about various other OWD, we saw that it could be private, it could be public, read, write, and the other sort of accesses. But when you talk in specific about the prize book, it has different options. The option that is provided for the prize book is different from the ones, I'm sorry, excuse me, from the one which comes along with the several other objects. So if you see here, maybe user, maybe account, if you see, so this is private, public read write, and then public read only, if you see that. Okay, if you see this, this is, again, I shared with you, Campaign has something extra to offer, which is public full access. And if you look at the prize book here, this is absolutely different. So it has either no access, a person cannot see it can have only view access to the prize books, and it can, or the user or end user, if you set it as use, can you not only view the prize books and the amounts, can actually pick up the prizes from there. So that's what I mentioned about the prize book. That's what it was about. So that's a quick glance over there. Now, let me do a thing here. I will have to, I'll stop share for a moment and I'll share again. I'm going to be sharing my slides here, and then we'll quickly jump into this. There you go. So sharing for external user, these are going to be our topics for the day. But before I actually get into this one as well, there's something which we have in the backlog that we need to complete. And I think a lot of you guys requested me to show you an example for territories, how exactly territory works. There's nothing much available on the internet as, you know, the real use cases and what territories are, how they can be different. So I've actually picked up a scenario or a use case for you. And I'll quickly walk you through this respecting the time that we have for the demo. let me know once it is like it's on your screen and it's clear for you guys. Vishal, Vaishnav, can you just confirm this is visible, this font, or do you want me to increase the size?
Uh, yeah, could you please increase it a little more? Yeah, that's fine.
This is better?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So this is the territory example that I have picked here. And for those who were not part of the territories or the last session that where we discussed this. So territory management, as I shared with you, is an account object sharing system. This territory management grants access to accounts based on certain characteristics that you predefined on the account records. Okay, so I'll pick up this example and I'll try to explain you that better. So if you see this, imagine that I have this org set up for Tata Industries. I really hope that Tata Industry doesn't sue me after looking at their name here. But yes, let's pick that example here. So Tata Industries, what I'm going to be using as the example here. This is my organization where I work on, for which I'm trying to set up the territories. Okay, and just for example or demo purposes, we're going to consider hypothetically that the Terra industry is actually involved in two kind of businesses. One is going to be the retail business, and the other business that Tata Industry is involved in the technology. Okay, so once you try to set up the territories for this particular scenario where the Tata Industry is your organization, or it's the industry for which you're trying to set up your org territory management for. They are into two business, again, retail and technology. And if you see, there's another different thing that I have here is the locations. Okay, and again, hypothetically, I'm saying they only work for these four locations: northern India, southern, western India, and eastern India. So while I will design the territory and allow people to be member of those territory groups and have access to these accounts, what I'm going to do is basically I have to switch on or enable I'm sorry, enable the territories. That's what we are going to be doing. So I'll stop sharing for a while again, and you have to bear with me because I have to keep switching between the actual org and here. So bear with me. So we are back here. So let me just quickly switch to Lightning. It's going to force me to come back to Classic, but let's just try that. Or maybe over here. So I'll go to Setup. In Setup, the first thing that all of you in an org where you haven't set up territory management yet, once you type territory, you go to the territory settings. This is the only option that you're going to see in your organization if there is no territory setup done in your system ever before. So this is what you're going to see. It's going to take me back to Classic. It's not going to take you guys. This is my browser issue. So this is what you are seeing here on my screen. But what I have done in order to be able to see this screen is I have enabled the territory management in my system. So what you're going to see is the way you say here, disable enterprise territory management, you're going to see here a big message which says enable territory management. Okay, once you click on that, this is what appears. And what options does it have to offer? As I said, it's an account sharing mechanism. Okay, so if you see here, it has some access levels which are defined for accounts and its children. Okay, so we did talk about the implicit sharing in our previous two sessions, and this is what it implies of. So account access, if you see what access you're giving on a territory when you're setting up the territory, view accounts assigned to this territory. Okay, if you are a member of a territory, okay, I'm going to be creating a territory and I'm going to be adding members to it. Okay, the people with whom I'm going to share the territories are going to be part of that territory group. So what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to give them certain accesses. What those accesses could be: view account assigned to this territory, you can only view the account. View and edit accounts assigned to this territory. So this is what I want to do. I want all the members of this territory to be able to not only see the accounts, but also to be able to edit them. Okay, and then the other option is the full access: view, edit, transfer, and delete accounts assigned to the territory. You can do anything here. And then transfer means transfer of ownership that we discussed in our previous sessions. Now let's look at this opportunity. From here itself, you can define that the accounts that are shared through the territory management, what do you want to do with their opportunities and the cases that have this account as your parent that you have shared. So maybe you can completely deny the access to opportunities. Okay. The second thing that you can do is you can give the view all opportunities which are associated with this account that are shared through the territory. Okay. Does not matter who owns the opportunity, whether the user who has access to the account owns the opportunity or not, they're going to be able to see it. And then this is view and edit. Similarly, three options for the cases. So what I've selected is view all opportunities associated with accounts. At least let them see regardless of who owns the opportunity. And similarly, I have done with the case. Okay. You have to choose your options wisely. You have to ask your question whether you want your opportunities to be seen, whether you want your cases to be seen or not. But this is basically driven from here. Okay. And then this is opportunity territory management. I'm not getting into it, but once you understand the account settings and everything, this would be absolutely very, very clear to you automatically. So let me save the settings that I have done for my territory management. This has been saved. My setting has been saved. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type territory here again. And if you see, after enabling, you would start seeing the two other options, which is going to be your territory types and territory models. Now, going back to the example that I set up for you guys, I told you that this particular setup is being done, or the example that I showed you, excuse me, the example that I showed you was basically saying that it is for Tata Industries that I'm setting up this entire territory management for. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be creating a territory model. Okay. So your territory model could be any kind of classification. The first classification that I give you right now is that for which organization you're setting it up. So maybe Tata Industries is something that I'm trying to set it up for. Okay. And then I'm going to say save. It's in the planning state right now. It's not deployed yet. Okay, so this is here. This is how you create your territory model. That's the first step that you do. Okay, so once you set up your territory model, that this is my entire model, that's Tata Industry. Under Tata Industries, I'm going to set up my different territories. Okay, this is one example. The other example could be I could set up territories quarter wise. Okay, first quarter territories. I'm going to be working on these territories for the first quarter, and how I'm going to be in northern, southern, and everything else I'll be drawing under it. So you can have multiple ways of. For our example, Tata Industries, what I've chosen. Now let me go to the types. Territory types is the second thing that you have to define. Now, if you go back to the example that I showed you guys, I said there are two kind of industries, or there are two type of territories that I want to set up. Okay. Just before I give this example, just one note that I want everybody of you to understand about territory management. When you're creating the territory type, so territory, literal meaning of territory, if you go by, that's basically the area, right? But in terms of Salesforce, you can define territory not only on the basis of areas, you can have various criteria. Okay, maybe the industry type, as we spoke of, maybe the PIN code, maybe the actual location, maybe the business type. Any attribute of your account can become your deciding factor for what territory you want to do. So for our example, what is our territory? Retail and technology. That is the type of businesses that we do. Okay, so that's going to be our territory. So let me create technology here. All of you all belongs to technology. So let's go cliche and create one, which is the territory type is going to be technology. Okay, and what's the priority? Okay, so priority means when you have several criteria, maybe you have more than one territory type setup, right? In our case, we're going to be setting up one which is on the basis of the type of business. Maybe I could have set up something which could be also by the location. Okay, that could be of another territory type. So if an account satisfies more than one criteria, okay, or more than one territory type that it should belong to, what priority should this one take? So I'm going to tell this is my first priority. Anything and everything where the business is technology, that particular account should fall in this territory. It should not go anywhere else. It should come over here. So I gave it a priority 1. Okay, and let me just save it. So that's my first priority that I have decided over here or defined over here. Similar fashions, you can have other territories created. The other territory that we wanted to create, if you guys remember, was the retail. So I'm gonna, sorry about that. So that's gonna be my second territory. Okay, and again the priority is going to be 1. And why I'm saying both of them has the same priority, because they're on the basis of business, and one account cannot be part of more than one business at a time. Industry is a singular pick list. Okay, so that's again a priority 1. Okay, it gets priority over any other territory type that you define in your system. An account would come here first. Okay, so that's kind of one thing that I wanted you to understand. Now let's go back to the territory model that we defined there. Coming back to this, okay, let me just quickly open it. There it is, and then I'm gonna go view the hierarchy. There you see. Okay, so what we did basically, we did create this one, which was your model, the territory model, which was for Tata Industries. And then we did create the territory types, where we had 2 business types which defined our categories, or type, the categories of the territories, or the type of the territories. What I'm going to be doing here basically is, I'll be actually creating the territories under this one. Okay, so maybe I showed you there, if you remember, that my Tata Industries works in northern India. Okay, that's all. Let's keep it this. Okay, and then the territory type, which territory type I'm designing. So my North India business model, or the location, or the territory that I'm defining right now, is true for retail. I do, or Tata do retail in northern India, and they have technology center in northern India also. So for this one, I'm going to be choosing, say, technology is my territory type. If you have a parent territory, which is your Tata Industries, that has been already chosen over here. Okay, just give a small description what this territory. So any account which has the technology and works in northern India is going to be falling in this area. Okay, and then what I'm going to be doing with this territory. Okay, this is the default that we set it up. If you remember, they can view and edit the account, they can view the opportunities, and they can again view the cases associated. So I'm going to save this one. Okay, so once you set up a territory, what all you can do over here is basically, let me show you. You can see which accounts it belongs to. Right now, there is nothing in the system. Okay, I'll just show you this one so that you just at least get an idea, and you can create the rest of them yourself. Maybe later you can try that. So here, if you see rules, you can define the rules, which is going to tell you what accounts fall under this territory. Okay, and other than that, defining the rule, other thing that you can do is, you can actually manually add the records to here, to this particular territory. 2 ways of doing it. I'll quickly show you. Manual is very simple. You click on it, you choose the account from a lookup, and you add it over here. I'll show you what assignment rule is. That is going to be more interesting. So real quick glance over here. So rule name is, say, I'm going to be saying technology account, or industry type, you can say. Okay, that's what it is. Now, see, base your rule on the object characteristics, such as, so these are the different characteristics of your account. On account, you have a pick list called industry. Okay, on the basis of that, the way I'm going to be creating, that's going to be on industry. Also, you can create the rule, whatever accounts. So instead of having northern area and this sort of division, or the industry type division that we did, industry, basically technology and retail, what you can have, small sized business, large size business. Okay, you could have like 2, where annual revenue, wherever your annual revenue is greater than $2 billion, it's going to be large size organization. That is going to be your industry type. And wherever it is lesser than $2 million, it's going to be small type. So that is going to be the other type of territory that you create. Okay, then also again, on the basis of number of employees, you can see, so the size of employee could be basically the rule. And again, in that particular case, just giving you examples there, your territory type is going to be the small scale, where again, number of employees is lesser than 1,000, and anything which is greater than 1,000 is going to be fall in the larger. So you can choose, pick and choose. And then again, region. Okay, you can have your territories defined in terms of region also, which we will eventually do. So here, if you see this particular one that we are creating the rule for, what I'm going to do is I am saying whenever my industry did I miss that? There it is. So whenever my accounts industry is equal to, and then you're going to be having pick list values over here you can choose from. Okay, it's a pick list available. Anything which is technology, okay, I am going to fall over here. And the second criteria to it would be, okay, my maybe the location something field which you can choose as a North India. That's what you can do over here. Okay, so anything which is this and anywhere which is right now I don't have a field which would actually be part of this, but you know, some maybe you can have an area field or zone. There it is. So account zone, for example, you can pick. So if your zone, I have here the US ones, I don't have the India right now, but when you are setting it up, the pick list values you would have is maybe, so you know, North India, South India, and just for the right now, just to show you how we can do it, I'm going to be picking up this Northeast US for now. For your case, you should have picked your North India. Insert selected. Okay. And then applies the rule to North India territory and its descendant also. You also want to do that when you set up the North India territory. Yes, no, depending upon that. And then mark it active and save it. What is it? Which field is missing? I don't see anything missing over here. Review all error messages below to correct your data. Required field missing operation. What is it that says missing here? I am surprised at this because everything that we have has already been filled over here. This is surprising for me.
Neha, in the account zone, you have selected the operator equals none.
Oh, that is the bad. Thank you so much. No, that shouldn't. It should have been equals. Thank you. So this is it. This is what you have done and created over here. Still, you will not see anything here, and I'll tell you why. There would be some account, even if some account exists in your system, which actually satisfy the criteria that they are technology accounts and they are in the Northern India part. I think we chose the Northeast US for right now. But yeah, even if it satisfy the criteria, it's not going to show up here at the moment. And why? I'll tell you. Let me go back to the territory here. And if you go here, you will have to run the rules. Okay, in order for your accounts to start appearing into your territory, you will have to run the rules. Okay, so once you run the rules, you click on it. So they're running and then you'll be notified by the email once they, you know, they run and they classify your accounts. So once they're classified, you'd be able to see here whatever satisfied the criteria would start showing up under the view accounts. And then at the end of it, it's calculating. So I'll just quickly wind up this whole thing also. By the time manage users, you can always, this is my dev account. I will only have 2 users over here that I've been using, but you can pick up the users that you want to be part of this particular thing. Okay, so you can choose them, you can put them over here, and then your territory would be shared as per with these users. Okay, that's how it works. This is what territory management is about. Just try your hands in there. You can use the same example, just extend it to the other, and then you'll understand how it works. Okay, so even if say I would have added Gaurav to that account, this has been calculated. So if say I'll just add this person over here and I'll say save, even if the Gaurav does not have access to the accounts, he does not own it, neither the accounts have been exposed through your sharing rule, say it's private, still this person would be able to see all the accounts which will fall under this category because he's part of this territory, he's member of this territory basically. So that's how it will be exposed. And this is one of the, I would say one of the ways to share your accounts and the child records with the help of the territories. Okay, so this is what territory management is about. Now, once this is done, let me move to the next set of next set of things here. Stop share, and then let me share back my PPT again. So this is what we have on my screen right now are the things that we're going to quickly look up today as far as external users are concerned. But the first thing that you will have to understand, and every one of us has to understand, is what exactly are the external user. Whenever I say external user, what do we mean by that? So that's first thing that I would want to share with you. But by then, if Vishal or Vaishnav, if you can confirm, are we looking at the PPT?
Yes.
Yeah, Neha, we
Or the
can see the
browser?
PPT. But Neha, if you can see the some questions regarding the territory, then it would be great.
Yes, we can do that real quick, but I don't want to. Now, maybe I was thinking if we take it in the end, we'd be able to cover these topics.
Yeah, sure, sure. No
Yeah.
worries. Yeah.
Yes, I don't want to miss on anything of this. That was our main topic. So territory I just took up because people were not able to understand it in the last session without an example. So I'll come back to the question for territories, guys. Don't worry about it. Prospecting time, let's just move to this for now. So sharing for external users. So first thing first, who are these external user? When we say external user, what exactly do we mean by that? So anybody who wants to maybe we can unmute one of us if anybody wants to share that. Otherwise, I'll take care for this. Okay, no worries. No worries there. So basically, when we talk about the external user, we all of us have heard about the community, and recently that has been changed to Experience Cloud. Any user who tries to access and have a corresponding license other than the guest user to be able to see the information on the portals or the communities that are designed are called external users. Okay. Generally, people get confused by the fact whenever we say external user, they are non-licensed user, they do not have the license. That's not true. That's an incorrect notion. External users do hold licenses, Salesforce licenses, but it's just that the licenses do not give them access to the internal Salesforce environment. They can only see the information, whatever has been exposed to them through the portals or communities that have been designed. Okay, that could be a customer community, that could be your partner community. Okay, I'll not dwell into type of communities and everything for now, but what I am intending at is basically I'll just come here and share. What I'm intending here basically is to understand the model of communities, which will make us, at more ease to be able to understand the sharing model for them. So if you look here, this is my Salesforce org, and these are the internal users, where the internal user can have access to anything and everything with respect to the permissions and the sharing model that we have designed with the solutioning that has been done by your architect and admins. So that's what it is about the internal users. Coming to the external user, the data has been exported to them through customer communities or the partner communities. And these communities offers different solutions, offers different kind of information. If you see, I have marked what kind of an object would you want people to be able to see over here. Have a glance carefully. If you look at the Salesforce org, you had accounts, contacts, cases, lead, opportunity, articles, products, and many more. But if you look at the partner community here, okay, it gives you leads and campaigns. Okay, opportunities also you see over here. Account contact is something which is, your bread and butter, as I always say. So they are here and here also. But if you look at the other opportunity leads and campaigns, which are absolutely unavailable for your customer community licenses. Okay, they're not available over here. So yes, the first thing that I'm trying to emphasize upon is that your in communities, it is absolutely important to understand for external user, whatever they see totally depends on their license at the first level. What license are we utilizing? Similarly for the internal users, of course, but yes, license does play an absolutely important role when you're exposing data or you're sharing data through the communities. If you look here, the customer community license, that is also again a high volume user license. Okay, this particular license does have access to cases, chatter, knowledge, ideas, answers, Salesforce One, account, orders, and contacts. So is the plus license for the customer community and the partner community license. But if you see here, reports and dashboard, roles-based sharing, access to task and reminders, which is notes, events, calendars, opportunity leads, okay, quotes, campaigns, and then again task and events. These are only accessible to whom? So the community plus license and the partner license user. This high volume license licenses or the user or the customer community license user, they do not have access to anything which is after this dotted line. They do not have access. This is extremely important to understand. Okay, this is something that we need to look. Even if it's a licensed user, not everything has been exposed. Even if you want to give permission, even if your external settings are such that all your accounts are exposed to everyone, maybe, you know, some ways, some sharing sets you have written, still they will not be able to see that information depending upon your license. Okay, so that's what it is about. Account may not be the best example to give. Maybe I would say the opportunities. Maybe if you set your opportunities to be public, still these guys would not be able to see any user who's using this particular license. So yes, the license does play an extremely important role. So here it is, extremely important to understand. So that's kind of one thing that I just wanted you guys to know. Now, what can be seen, who sees, and how you give the permissions, that is something very important, and that we need to understand. And to answer this question while you're designing your solution for external user, that who to give access to, what to give access to, and how to give access to, in order to get to that level, there are a couple of questions, again, the way we discussed last time, you should ask to yourself, or an analyst should ask to the client or, you know, customer. So first of all, the first thing that you need to understand, or an architect needs to understand, is what exactly is the requirement for the external sharing. What do I need to share? Okay, that's the first thing that the person needs to understand. The second thing that a person needs to understand is what sort of license types will be used here. Okay, I want to share, to be able to share the opportunities, but if I go ahead and choose a license, as I said, as customer community license, I am failed. Okay, as an architect, I have failed. Whatever I do, whatever settings I do, I'll not be able to share that. So of course, what you want to share is first thing that you identify, and the second thing you identify out of that is which license you should buy. Okay, once you decide what you want to share, the second thing that you need to understand over here is what kind of a license I'm going to be buying. The third thing that you have to understand is that whatever information you're trying to see, okay, or trying to show as an architect, who owns that? We have discussed in our last two sessions the importance of ownership. Ownership is extremely important. Who owns the record is something that we need to understand as a base of our sharing. So that's what the question is. Do I want the external users to be able to see their own records, or we want them to be able to see other records as well? Okay, records which are owned by other set of people. So that's the next question that you should ask. What are the options then? I will share it with you shortly, but these are the questions that you should know answers of before you get to decide which option I'm going to be choosing to share my data with. Okay, next thing that you need to understand is which user or groups need to access to the records. Okay, so are you actually going to share information with the individuals? Generally that does not happen. We have seen that the information is shared as part of teams, as part of groups, instead of like with an individual. That's how we have been doing it. Okay, so you need to understand how this person is part of group, or you know, what is the structure that you're trying to share information with. And the last thing that you need to understand is what sharing option I'm going to be using. So once you have answered the top 5 questions, then this one comes, and what are the option amongst to choose from? I'm going to be sharing it with you very shortly. Okay, let's come back. here. Okay, so what you're sharing, with who you're sharing, whom you're sharing, and who owns that record, both who comes over here, and how you're going to be sharing is something that we will talk now. Okay, so licenses we did understand. Guest user, I will explain you shortly what is a guest user and how it is different from every other licensed user. I will come to that point, but before we go anywhere else, the first thing that we need to understand is the external OWIDE defaults. Okay, so while I was showing you early the sharing settings and OWD, you did see that you all of you all must have paid attention that there's a column in the right hand side, which the second column, I believe it is, which explicitly talks about the external OWDs. Okay, so basically the external organization wide defaults, they facilitate the support for different sharing settings for your internal and external users. Now external OWD, when you talk about, it simplifies your sharing rules and speed of sharing calculations. So external OWD is limited to the subset of objects. What objects it is, just pay attention to this now. External OWD is limited to only this subset, which is your account, contact, case, opportunity, lead, asset, campaign, individuals, orders, user, and custom objects. Outside these, what I just spoke of, nothing is accessible or nothing that you can set the external OWD for. That's what you have to pay extremely important to understand at this point of time. What is exposed through your external, or what is configurable through your external OWD. So account, contacts, case, opportunity, lead, that you all understand. Campaign we did see according to the type of license. Asset is something, and then order, user, and custom objects, of course. So that's what is being OWD set for. Now when you talk about external OWD, it should be, it must be equal or more restrictive to your internal OWD. Okay, by rule, as an architect, that's a suggestion to all of you all while you're designing your solution. Whenever you're trying to set your OWD, just try to keep it at least equal to what you have for your internal. It shouldn't be the case that you set it up private for your internal and you are setting up public, some object public for your external. That should not be the case. Okay, it should at least be equal to or more restricted than whatever you have set up for your internal users. So that's one thing to very important thing to remember. Okay, now the external OWD settings, what are those settings that the options that are available basically is controlled by parent, private, public read write only, and public read public read only and public read write. I'd quickly repeat that. So the first option that you get for OWD for external is going to be controlled by parent. The second is private, as usual, public read only, and then public read write. Okay. Now I will just quickly talk about the sharing rules. If I ask you this question, I want to share my information with the external users. Okay, my OWD has been set to private. I want to share this information about an object to the external users. What option or do I have, and or maybe more precisely, can I use sharing rules the way I've been using for the internal users? Okay, so the answer to that, I don't know how many of you have noticed, but the answer to that question is partially yes and partially no. Okay, so it depends what user you're trying to share it with. Let me quickly go back to the org here and show you what am I trying to emphasize upon. Okay, so back to Lightning, sharing settings. Now I won't be able to access it from here. I'll have to use this, my bad. Let's go to the sharing settings. Okay. So here is your default external access. Here where to set it up. And the option that we discussed, private, read write, controlled by parent. Yeah. And then of course read only would also be there. What I am trying to show over here is, let me try account. Okay, so there's a criteria based rule that you can define, but You can only define it for your guest user. Okay, other than guest user, you cannot use your sharing rules to share data for the external user. It would be just the guest user. And when we specifically talk about guest user, who's a guest user? Any unauthenticated user to your community is your guest user. He does not have a login password and he does not actually hold a license. He's just a guest to your community or to your site. That person is a guest user, okay? And things work a little different for him as compared to the licensed user. There are a lot more restrictions for the guest user as compared to anyone and everyone else. Okay, and recently, I would say in 2020, everything has been tightened a lot more than it used to be for the guest user. Now, if you see, as I showed you, this is the only option that you get over here. But again, be cautious while you try to use the sharing rules to share your information. We discussed we can only have as much as 50 maximum sharing rules per object. So that should be your last resort to share the information. But this is one of the ways that you can share your information with the individuals who are your guest users. Now, one important question that I have seen a lot of people asking, it's a guest user, you can give certain permission through the profiles of the guest user, but where do you find this profile? Did anybody tried ever to go to the profile? It's a user, definitely. Okay, it's a user, may not be a logged in user, and of course there's a profile associated with this person. But if you'd look here in the profiles, you would not find that. You would never find that. There's only one place that you can see this profile and you'd be able to work the profile, and that is, I'll just quickly show you. Quick thing. Previously, as I said, it used to be communities. Now it's not communities, it's Experience Cloud. So you would find it under the digital experiences. If you go here and if you click on all sites, which used to be all communities before, but now you'd find it under digital experience in all sites. Oh my God. Really apologetic about this browser issue. So here you see, these are my two communities that has been designed. Okay. So one is the Help Me by Default one, which I got. And then the other one that I was working on is this one. So let me quickly show you where can I see the profile for a guest user and what I can do with it. So the only place I would say you'd be able to access your profile from is here. Okay, you come here to the builder, community builder, you click on the setup icon, and if you scroll down over here, okay, that's your guest profile. Each and every community has its own guest profile. Okay, you can't have a common guest profile. You will not want your customer portal user to be able to see the same things as your partner portal user, right? So even if they're guest, okay, so one website or one community could be totally dedicated for the case management. The other one could be for the lead management. So of course, one setting would not work for everything, and thus very clearly, it's very evident, more logical to have one guest profile per community. Okay, and how do you access it? Again, I just shared with you, you will not be able to see it in the normal profiles, but what you'll be doing, you'll be coming here to the builder, click here on the setting, click on the profile name, and there it is. Here you would see. Okay, if you want to see it, you'll have to come over here. There it is. Okay, this is the enhanced view of the profile, enhanced setup. So this is where you set it up, your permissions and everything for a guest user. Again, using this guest user profile, it is for the customer portal that I have designed. So it is called customer portal profile, and it is using a guest user license essentially, if you say so, which is free. You don't have to buy that one. But anyways, what I'm trying to emphasize upon it, not every access can be given through it. Not all the correct permissions can be given through your guest user licenses. Okay, or your guest through your guest user profile. There's a lot of restrictions, a lot of, I would say, when it comes to your guest licenses. There's hella that Salesforce has pushed from its side and has stopped a lot of different kind of accesses. So definitely you cannot have the edit, you cannot have the delete permissions to be given through your profile. That's not allowed. You cannot give those kind of permissions to your guest user. Even if you try to set it up through the profile, nah, it's not going to happen for you guys. Okay, you cannot do it. Simply impossible. You cannot give them view all. You cannot give them manage all. Okay, so that's absolutely not possible. Even if you have a profile, you cannot set that up from there. So these are the few things that one needs to remember while working. I would suggest anybody who's more interested in the security and restrictions related to the guest user, just go through the winter 20 release notes. It has everything detailed out over there, Salesforce winter 20 release notes, and a lot of new restrictions were posed in with respect to that. Okay, so that's kind of one thing. Another thing that I quickly wanted to show you guys, let me go back to the sharing. I'm really hoping it's open somewhere. No, not really. Let me try to open up. Quick thing, I wanted to show you one more setting related to the guest user. See this one. This is secure guest user record access. If you check this thing over here, okay, so this particular one, make sure that your setting is set to private for all object for the guest user. Okay, it automatically takes care of that particular thing. So this is what you have to remember. This is a new setting which is provided by Salesforce now. Okay, would set up everything to private for the guest user. Okay, so that's one. No matter what you're given from here, it would not matter. If you check this one, automatically everything private. So that's one thing that you would want to pay attention to. Now, after sharing this one, again, I would suggest just go through this page very, very carefully. A lot of different settings available that you can do or perform. So just try to look at each and every thing that is available on this page. Coming back to what are the other ways to share your information, I did share for the guest user. Yes, you have one option, which is your sharing rule. And again, I suggested 50 only sharing rules. So try to find the other means. What are the other means? In order to share your information or your data with the external user, the most important tool is called sharing sets. Okay, that's kind of something very, very important, and I'll show you where would you find it in your digital experiences. When you go to the settings, scroll down, this is called sharing set. Okay, this is available at a different place because it's a setting or it's a sharing which is applicable for the community only or for the digital experience. It's separately available. It's not available in the sharing settings. Okay, so what are sharing sets and how they can be used? A very, very quick glance at it. Let me just click on a new button here and I'll try to explain. So just going by whatever we have here. So first thing first, while you're trying to define a sharing set, okay, in order to give access to your external users, first thing that you have to always remember is for granting access through sharing set, the most important factor is the account of the user. So if you guys remember, and if somebody of you have got chance to work on communities, how do you define or how do you create a community user? It has a license. You create a user for it, but what extra step you need to do in order to create that user? So what you have to basically do is you have to create a contact for that user and you have to associate an account with that user. That's absolutely necessary to set up an external user. Okay, licensed external user. So what you'll do, you'll create a user, you'll assign it a license, you'll have a profile defined for that. Yes, but on the top of it, what you have to do is you should have a contact and an account associated with that external user to be able to log into the community. That's a necessity. So every external user, logged in licensed user, is going to be having an account associated, and this entire sharing set depends upon the account of that contact whose user you are, or the contact associated with the user who's trying to access the community. That's first thing that you have to remember. This sharing set, it's little different. It works very, very differently than the other Salesforce sharing methodologies. Okay, again, account is something that you need to keep in your mind. Everything would be driven around that. So having said that, what you can do is you can choose a profile that you want to have your sharing set associated with. Okay, so I would say I would choose customer community user. Okay, I'll just go over here. Okay, and you can have some whatever you see here in my system are the standard ones. I think I do have a custom here, which is customer portal manager custom. You can select this also. Okay, you can just choose these two. And then the next thing that you want to be able to do is basically select an object that you want to share. Maybe you want to share your cases. Okay, so what you have to do is, sorry. Okay. Let me put it over here. I'm sorry. So this has been set up from here, sharing cases with the community users. So while I was setting it up, okay, while we were doing this, while we were just a second, let me just go back to this picture. While we're setting it up here, important thing that you have to remember is you can have a sharing set, one sharing set rather per profile. Okay, I have selected this here, customer community user. I am going to have it here for cases. I chose cases, I think it did not get saved. So, but this is going to happen here for case, one object, one profile. I can only have a sharing set. I cannot create another sharing set which would have the same profile and the same object over it. That's impossible. You cannot do that. Okay, that's absolutely not possible. Now let me come here. How do you actually access what they can access? If you see here the user, okay, grant access where the user, and if you see field over here, user's account, okay, target case. Case account matches, okay, and I give this person read-only access. So what I'm trying to do here is wherever the account of the user that is trying to log in. So say Vishal's account is Tata. Okay. So any case that has or the account field mapped to the same Tata account, Vishal is going to have read-only access to that case. He would be able to at least read that case. Okay. The other could be, he could just read and write. Okay. These are the only two options. Read-only, read-write. No transfer options have been given here. So just pay attention to that. And then I said update. So you saw that everything is revolving around your account. Okay. That's what you have to remember about your this thing. Okay, so any user now who has a customer community, who's a customer community user, and he needs access to the case, if his account is equal to the account which is defined on the case, he will have the read and write access to it. Okay, this is how it has been defined. So these are the sharing sets, and this is how you share your information. Okay, and again, always remember one license, one object, one sharing set, not more than that. Okay, now if you see that, here's something called as sharing group settings. So what is a sharing group? Basically, if you remember, I did show you while I was showing you the different licenses. I told you that the customer community license that you have, that is a high volume portal user. Okay, that has the high volume portal user license, that is. Okay, so now whenever you want to share anything which is owned by the high volume portal users with the internal users, you're going to use a sharing group. Okay. And then one more thing that you have to remember is you can have sharing groups associated with the sharing set. They cannot live in silos. You're going to have it associated with the sharing set, and for a sharing set you can have just one shared group. Okay, so that's what you will have to always keep in mind about the sharing groups. A quick glance at it, but sharing set is what I would want you to pay more attention to. This is extremely important. Sharing groups, when I say, it is to share the data of the external user with the internal user. Okay, by now what you saw, whatever has been created in the system, and then you're trying to share with the external one, but whereas this one, you're trying to share the information that belongs to, that is owned by the external user, the high volume portal users, with the internal user. You're trying to share that. That's where you use a groups, just to understand it very, very quickly on a high level. Vaishnav, can you confirm how much time do we have here? Just wanted to share one quick thing.
Yeah, we are at 6. How much time would it take?
I think maximum 5 minutes, but just quick tips there.
Yeah,
About the external
after
users.
that we can go with the questions and we'll move on to the next one.
Sure. Okay. So very quickly, couple of important things that you should keep in your mind is that the customer community licenses, we did talk about the role hierarchy and everything. We did saw that in detail. I won't go into the detail back, but just always remember that whenever you have a customer community license user, that person does not have the support to roles. Also, this person cannot be, or the user who has have the customer community license cannot be part of the public groups, and thus one more thing, manual sharing is not possible. Okay, so 3 things: cannot have roles, second, cannot be part of the public groups, and third important thing, manual sharing is not possible. Okay, that's what we have to remember as far as customer community license is concerned. That's very, very important to understand. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share about that, and I'll just stop sharing for a second and then come back to this real quick slide. Okay, we did cover all of it that we have here. I quickly want to talk about just one more thing, which is this built-in sharing behavior. We did talk about it briefly, the implicit sharing that we all have been talking about for our last 2 sessions. We did talk about it, implicit sharing, and then group. So very, very quickly, what is public and personal group? Okay, so public groups you all have might seen when you so basically you can create groups, you can name them, and you can add people over there, and this is generally handled by your admin. Okay, and then you can derive your sharing out of these public groups that you create. Other than that, there's something called as personal group. Okay, when you'll go to the user's account, an individual user can create a group of its own. Okay, now this group is created and managed by the user itself. Admin cannot do anything with that group. The admin cannot even see the private groups. Okay, so if you have a use case where you want to work with 2-3 people very, very closely, you can create your own group and you can share your data with that group. Okay, that is a possibility, but the person should be well trained. Always keep in mind, you cannot give something, something of this kind of a tool in the hands of someone who does not understand the responsibility that it comes with. But yes, that is a total possibility. Having a personal groups, you can create them. And important thing, admin would never even know that such things exist in the system. They are personal to the user. Neither admin can see it, nor he can edit that particular group, nor can add the members, remove members. Nothing he can do. Okay, so that's one thing that I wanted to share very, very quickly with you. Built-in sharing we have been discussing, but just once again before we close, since implicit sharing is generally people get confused what it is associated with. So implicit sharing is something to do with the accounts, it's children's. Okay, so 2 type of implicit sharing that we have been discussing. One is the parent implicit sharing. This parent implicit sharing, it gives the read-only access, and carefully hear this out, it gives the read-only access to account record when a given user has access to a related record of the parent account. Okay, so that's what a parent implicit sharing is. Whereas when you talk about the child implicit sharing, it gives access to the child record, which could be your contact, opportunity, or case of a parent account record for the owner of the related account record. Okay, that's what it is. So parent implicit sharing talks about giving access to the account when you have access to your child, and child implicit sharing is you have access to the parent. What sharing comes along with it for the children, like contact, opportunity, and cases, is that's what it is about. Cannot be controlled. It is the defined behavior that Salesforce comes with, and the account and the associated object. You cannot control the implicit sharing at all. It's not in your hands. No admin can alter these settings. Okay, that's impossible to do. So that's what I really quickly wanted to share with you. And this is it from my side as far as the external sharing is concerned. And this is what we learned today. So yes, anybody, any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Neha. We have some questions, so I'll just read out them for you.
Hmm.
Okay. We have a
Vaishnav,
question from
Vaishnav, what we can do. So guys, if you are having any queries, you can raise your hand or you can mention in the chat window that you want to ask, and we can unmute yourself so that you can easily ask your question. Yes, Neha, it would be great, right?
Of course, why not? Yeah.
Because yeah, previous time we have seen that if you are asking some question, it is not clear and it is taking some time, more time. So it would be great if you would like to ask the question, just type in the chat window and we can unmute you.
no. Anish, you can.
Excuse me, sorry.
Anish,
Hi,
you
hi.
can. Yeah,
Yeah, can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so my question is related to the territory management. So if we are sharing, regardless of the ownership, will the new person who have access, his manager as per role hierarchy will be having the access as per the concept we have for role hierarchy. So will that apply if we share using territory, via territory?
Anish, I'm really sorry, I couldn't really get your question.
Yeah,
Vaishnav, if you could help me understand that question, or maybe Anish, if you could, I think you have written your question also.
yeah, correct. So it's simple. If I share a record using territory management option, there is an option we can share regardless of the ownership, right? If the person, so let's say the new person who got access, his manager, as per the role hierarchy, will that manager able to see his
Yes. Yes. So territory management or the territory settings goes hand in hand with role hierarchy. So whenever you set up territory management, always keep in mind you're not only sharing your information through the territories, but you're also sharing it through the roles. You have to maintain both the things, territory as well as your role hierarchy. Both needs to be maintained. That is true. Managers will have access. That is true.
Hope Anish, we are able to give you the answer.
Yeah,
So
he's replied in the chat. Okay, so Shubham, you can ask your question.
Yeah, hi Neha. So particularly can we have public read-write access on the external for the external OWT sharing on the account object? If we do that, then all of the account is shared to the users via community.
Okay, let me do a thing for you here. So we're talking about the sharing settings, and I think it's important for all of us to understand. Let me share my screen once again, real quick over here, and show you what and how it matters. What is happening here? I'm somehow not able to share my screen back. Are you sharing your screen, Vaishnav? Somehow I am not able to share it.
No, Neha, I'm not sharing.
Is that possible? Okay, let me just try to answer that verbally then. My bad. So when you're talking about the accounts, account and contracts both have three kind of an option: private, public read only, and public read write. And once you expose it through the default external access as public read write, yes, of course, every external user is going to have public read write option. They will be able to not just read, but would be able to write irrespective of who the owner is. That is true. And it's not a good practice, let me tell you. Did I answer your question? Was that the question?
Yeah, Neha. I thought I was gonna mute. So Neha, like, and if in the same case the sharing sets we have applied, so
No, you
in
cannot.
that case,
So one thing that you have to remember about sharing sets can only be utilized if your account, okay, or if your object, whatever object you're preparing that sharing set on, it is not exposed by any other means. If your, so basically what I'm trying to say is you have to set the accounts to private in order to be able to create a sharing set on it. If it's public read write, you cannot create a sharing set on it. That's extremely important to understand. Also, if you have it private and you opened up everything through other means, still you would not be able to create. Okay, still you cannot create it. You cannot have your account or the object that you're creating on sharing set to be exposed by any other medium. And explicitly when you talk about OWD, it is supposed to be private for that object.
okay. And one other thing, like the profiles of the customer profiles, the profiles of the communities, where we can manage them, like is the standard way we can manage them, or is there a different
Profile,
to
are you talking about
edit
the
them?
guest profile, Shubham? Explicitly
No,
about the
no,
guest?
no,
Every profile?
customer portal and the partner portal profile.
So they will be available inside under the profiles tab in your settings. They'll be available there,
Okay.
and then you can manage them. Just for the guest, the guest profile would never be available over there. For that, you need to navigate through your community settings.
Okay. Thanks.
Sure. Anyone else?
Yeah, Manoj, you can ask your question. You're audible.
The thing is, first I have two questions here. Can we create a territory with the same territory type?
I'm sorry. You want to have territory which same territory type? Yes, two territories can have a same territory type. It is true. That's possible.
But I mean, you told with the now we have shown some demo. We have shown demo, right? When you are creating territory type, we can't create. I mean, with the same settings how you created, we can't create another one, right? Like duplication, you can assume.
No, it's totally possible to have it. I'm not sure what exactly is the question over here, and if he has typed the question, if somebody can read that out for us, that would be great. The thing is, and I believe that was Manoj. So Manoj, it's totally possible. It depends on your scenario, which type you want to use. So you have created a type. Of course, you can have a territory created or two territory created, which could belong to the same type. But your hierarchy and your classification would totally depend upon the business use case that you have. In my case, I could have just one associated because that's the design I have. In your design, you can have amalgamation of different business models, and then you would be able to choose it.
Okay,
it was just my example. It was just my example that I would say would allow me to have just one. You can have the amalgamation, and that's totally supported by Salesforce. Salesforce has no restriction over it.
Okay, thanks. I have one question. Can I?
Yeah, please go ahead, Manoj.
Okay. The thing is, I have implemented an Apache sharing on opportunity record. it is based on stage like prospecting, you can assume. So here in that Apache sharing, I have given access level as edit.
Okay.
Okay. In OWD, I have given as private. That is, means whatever I have created, the user, to that user, he can see the record. Correct. Another one is here for that opportunity, I have given only read access. In per profile, in terms of object level of access, I have given only read access.
Okay. Okay.
Then what happens to the user?
So basically, when you
I not given any view all data, edit all data.
the
View all
person will
one
not
say
be
all
able to
one
edit it. If the user run it in if your Apex code runs in the user mode, okay, generally you know that your Apex code generally, okay, and I'm not going to be making it a default statement, it runs in the system mode that you're aware of, right? That is correct, right? So if you're running in the system mode, you are in right hand. That would happen. You should be able to work upon it. But if you're running in a user mode, in that particular case, your user profile does not have edit. Even if you try to give edit from here, nothing. This person is not going to be able to edit it. He will not be able to edit it. He does not have the edit access on the profile level. Thus, no, absolutely not. If you're running in the user level and you are adhering to everything else. So yes, if you will, and the best way to check it is if you really want to, and I would suggest every one of you to do that while you're writing such kind of code. I did share that there are method called is editable, is creatable at the object level, and also at the field level you have these kind of methods. Okay, so then try to always use them in your code while you're trying to write such codes. So just check if it's editable and then perform your action so that you never run into any kind of an exception.
Okay. Actually, I mean, we have implemented this one. The thing is, what happening here? He is not able to edit the record.
He will not be able to edit because when you're in it, so you have not given the OW. So sorry, you haven't given them the CRUD permission itself. Remember our last session where we said if you don't have the CRUD permission given, whatever your OWD says, okay, even if you say read write, that person won't be able to do anything. You give him all access through OWD or you're through Apex code, you do whatever, you manually share, you to do your Apex sharing, anything you do. But if you haven't given him the right correct permissions, this person would not be able to perform that.
So, I mean, in this case, what I mean, I need a suggestion for this.
So basically, two things. Okay. When it's going live is extremely important to understand. So I think the summer release, Salesforce have introduced something which is you can switch the mode and you can run your code. Okay, that's a possibility, but it's not live right now. It's in the next release planned. You have to wait for July. I think July 15 or 14 is the next release date. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I remember, but I have to go back and check. Once that is in place, then you would have this wonderful feature where you can have your mode set up. You can have your code run a system mode or user mode, and you can switch in between and run your codes. But yes, otherwise you have to give the edit permission. There is no other way. There's one thing that you have to remember. I saw somebody writing with and without sharing. I think that is Anish. So Anish, when you suggesting the with and without sharing, with and without sharing is more about the record level. The issue here is not at the record level. The issue here is basically at the CRUD permission level. So even if you try to use this without sharing, still that person would not be able to. The CRUD is the problem.
Okay. Thanks.
You have to give the CRUD.
The thing is, we need to give edit access.
Yes. You have to. Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Anyone else want to ask any question? Please raise your hand.
Just one thing, Vishal, back to Manoj, there is one way if you don't want to add that edit permission to the profile of this person, Okay, what you can do is you can create a permission set. Okay, and you can temporarily assign this permission set to this user, do this task, and take away this permission set within your code. That's another way to resolve it if you don't want to give the edit permission at the profile level. So temporarily assigning the permission set within your code, then editing the record, and then taking back the permission set. Okay, that's one way you can use it. Yeah.
Neha, one question which we have is there any way to remove home tab from community for guest users?
I'll have to go back and check that one. That's more of what my developers do, but home tab. I think this is configurable and you can get rid of the home tab. I'm pretty sure. What exactly is the way? Who asked this question?
Suramya Dubey.
Okay, so Suramya, as a possibility, yes, it is possible. Everything is configurable in your community, that I know for sure. How to get rid of this? I think you have a tab settings, and then you get rid of all the tabs you can set up there. But what exactly are the steps? I can share it with you offline. But to answer your question, yes, there is a way. Reach out to me on either on my email or just ping me on the LinkedIn or Twitter. I'll share the steps with you.
One question which we have is how territory management helps business. Does it only helps on grouping the accounts?
No. So territory management, of course, it groups your accounts and then let you share their account. But on the top of it, what you can do. So just remember our example, okay? What I did, the technology, Tata Industries technology technology unit in Northern India. Okay. What you can do, you can forecast on it. Okay. You can manage your opportunities through that. You can create reports where you can see, you can compare your business. Okay, this territory worked, the Northern India technology did good, but in the other technology it did not do good. So this, alongside just sharing, it also helps you to forecast. That's very, very important to understand. Forecasting is one thing which comes very, very handy. So that is what you have to remember. And then reporting and analysis. Anything else, guys?
Guys, we are looking for a last question. If you are having any last question, we can proceed. Otherwise, we are good to move with the Kahoot because we are running over time. I think we are not getting any questions. So, Vaishnav, we can move ahead with the Kahoot.
Yeah, sure. Let me share my screen once
Yeah.
I start. I think everyone can see my screen.
Yes, Vaishnav, I can see.
Yeah, okay. So everyone needs to go to kahoot.it and enter the game pin here. I'll just put it in the chat.
In the meanwhile, participants are joining the Kahoot. So let me clear the rules. Those participants who have win in the previous sessions are eligible to take part in the Kahoot. But if they won, they are not considered. Guys, if you are facing any problem, please let us know. And we can wait for 10 to 20 seconds more.
Yeah, Vishal, I think we can start now.
Okay, Vaishnav. Yep.
Yeah, I'll just log this and start. So yeah. Oh, don't know first time. Okay, Bhushan, just you'll see this question on the screen and the following options for that. You need to just select the options you'll find the options, right? You'll find them on your phone. So you just need to click on that option. That's the thing. So I guess we can start. So yeah. So here comes the first question. Secure guest user record access can be enabled from sharing setting, guest user profile, digital experience setting, community builder. Okay, so 9 people have answered it right. So the answer is sharing settings. Let's see the leaderboard. So we have Dedipya in the first, Reenu and Prashant Gupta followed by them. Moving on to the next question. Which amongst these licenses do not support role hierarchy? Community, customer community plus, customer community, partner community, and none of these. So the right answer is customer community. So 13 people have answered it right. So let's see the leaderboard now. So still we have Tedipi on the first, G Singh in the second, and Bharat Kumar followed by them. Get the next one. More than one sharing sets can be configured for a profile. True or false?
Guys, this question is half. More than one sharing set can be configured for a profile per object. Should be the question. My bad.
Okay, so we have 10 right answers.
Okay.
So yeah, same. Tedipi is on fire. Bharat Kumar on second, and G Singh the third. Private user groups cannot be edited by admins. True or false? So the answer is true. Like private user groups cannot be edited by admins. So let's see the leaderboard now. We have JP in the first, Jay Singh in the second, and Mohan Raj in the third place. Customer community license does not have access to account and lead, account and contacts, accounts and orders, knowledge and idea. Accounts and leads is the right answer. So everyone thought that it is knowledge and idea. So yeah, let's see the board. Oh, great. We have Jason in the first, Mohan Raj in second, and Dilip in the third. So next question. A guest user sharing rule can give read only, read and write, read, write, transfer, all the above. So the right answer is read only. Let's see the leaderboard. We still have Jason in first, Mohan Raj in second, and Bharat Kumar followed in the third position. Sharing group allows external users to access data owned by internal users. True or false? So yeah, I guess everyone has answered this. So it is false. So let's see the leaderboard. We have Mohan Raj, Bharat Kumar, Jay Singh, and Jay Singh in the first three positions. Next question is: can a custom object that does not have an account or contact lookup field be shared with community user using sharing set? True or false? So the answer is false. It cannot be done. Uh, Coming to the leaderboard, Mohan Raj, Bharat Kumar, and Jay Singh in the first three positions. High volume community or site users can be manually share the records. True or false? So the answer is false. And let's see the leaderboard. We have Mohanraj in the first place and is on fire. Bharat Kumar in second and Jay Singh followed by them. Okay, here comes the last question. Which guest user object permissions are removed with the Spring 21 release? Edit, delete, create, all the above. So here we have two correct answers like edit and delete. So let's see the final leaderboard. So who stands in the third place is Jay Singh, and in the second place is Bharat Kumar, and in the first place we have Mohan Raj. Congratulations winners, and in the fourth and fifth we have Christine and Ashish Kumar. So kudos to the winners, and yeah, Vishal, you can.
Yeah, thank you so much to all of the winners. So as we are having two swags, uh, which are provided by the Neha. Thank you so much, Neha, for all of your supports which you are providing to the community. And once again, thank you so much for such an amazing and we can say the awesome series which we can see, because in the series we can see we have learned a lot of new things which we can't consider when we are learning the security or we are doing a hands-on or working in the live project. We can't consider these things. So thank you so much, Neha, for giving a brief about on these topics.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me here. Vishal, just one quick thing I wanted to share. If you remember, we did say that in the beginning of session, we'd have at least one or two people that could work with me on a live project.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about. And I just wanted to know right now, I think we have still 28 participants present over here. If we can just look back amongst our winners from the three session who attended all the three sessions, that would be the one person that I can offer internship in Stack Nexus to. That's first thing. Amongst the six people who won, I think six we have, like top six people, two each session. Whosoever attended all the three sessions, that would be the one person that I would want to be able to. And the second thing is, you all have my email address or the Twitter thing. Just go to my Twitter and ping me over there that you want to be uh, interested in doing a hands-on. How do you like the session and what you have learned most out of it? And we will choose one person out of that person. So what criteria that would be, I would share that shortly. But whosoever is interested, the second person who want internship to work, to be able to work on a live project in Stack Nexus, just ping us there and we'll take it from there. Thank you.
So Neha, how we are planning? So will you be providing all the details shortly?
Yeah, so just one second.
Mhm.
Sorry, guys. So yeah, so the first thing, I will contact the first person. If you could just share the name with me, Vishal, amongst our top winners, the winners with each session. I think we have two winners per sessions.
Yeah.
These amongst these six people, whosoever attended all the three sessions and was a top scorer. Maybe the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. You just take the scores of each one of them,
Yeah.
and if the first person was in the all sessions, we would take that first person. And for rest of the people, everybody who is right now present or did attend the session at any point of time, just ping us on Twitter and show your interest that you want to take that internship. Tag Gurgaon Group, tag me there, tag Stack Nexus there, and I will announce the second person who gets the internship in Stack Nexus shortly.
Yeah, sure. I need to go to the Trailblazer community and need to find out all of the persons who have registered and are joining the session via joining link. So whichever person has joined the link is we can see in the Trailblazer community.
Okay, that's lovely. Just tweet us there, and then we will let everybody know. I'll work
Yeah,
with Vishal closely on this, and then we can take the final
yeah.
decision.
I will give you the one name by going through the Trailblazer community groups.
Perfect.
All of
Sounds
the
good.
sessions. Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much.
yeah, guys, if you are I would really urge you to share your feedback regarding this series, because Neha has done a fabulous job regarding this series, and she is feeling not well from last 2 weeks, and she is delivering this kind of amazing content and delivering this kind of knowledgeable we can say information to you. So we need your inputs so that Neha can work on that, and it she can do much better as per your expectation also. So guys, we need your inputs.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I think we are not getting any feedback. So yeah, I think we can see in the chat window all are saying the great session. Yeah. Okay. So Vaishnav, have you noted down the two winners email ID?
Yeah, I have
Both of the
selected them.
winners?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
taken
Okay.
them.
Okay. So thank you so much everyone for joining today's session, and thank you so much Neha for the series. Thank you to be in the series. So I think we are good to wrap up the session. Have a great day. Have a happy weekend. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Bye for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.